Nobody expected that a simple late-night food run could shake an entire fandom, yet here we are. In the past 24 hours, a short clip, less than 10 seconds long, sent Liu Yuning's fans into absolute disbelief. And not because of what he said, but because of what he was holding in his hand at nearly 1 a.m. The moment looked casual, innocent, almost too ordinary. But the internet rarely allows a quiet moment to stay quiet, especially when it involves someone like him. Welcome back to Celeb Buzz Insider, where we uncover the stories behind the stories, those unexpected moments that reveal the human side behind the spotlight. And tonight, we need to talk about this late-night scene that has suddenly taken on a life of its own. At first glance, it looked simple, a dimly lit street stall glowing under neon signs, the kind of place where locals gather for snacks and whispered conversations. And there he was, Liu Yuning, dressed in soft neutrals, relaxed, almost blending into the crowd. No entourage, no spotlight, no cameras, just him, a casual jacket, a pair of light jeans, and a quiet midnight street. But that's exactly why it became explosive. Because the man fans often see singing on massive stages or filming under studio lights was suddenly captured doing something extremely normal. Ordering a snack, talking gently, standing at a tiny counter while someone pointed at a menu. A moment so human, so everyday, that it became unforgettable. And that's where the emotional tension begins. Fans didn't just say, "Oh, he's eating."
No.
They said, "Wait, why is he eating that at this hour?" The comment sections erupted. Timelines filled up. Speculation spread faster than the clip itself. Some joked he must be stress eating. Others said it was a reward after a long workday. A few wondered if this midnight outing hinted at a bigger story, something happening behind the scenes that fans don't yet know. But before we dive deeper into the theories, let's rewind. Because something subtle happened before he even placed the order, something small, but powerful enough that fans immediately felt it. As he approached the stall, he looked tired, not exhausted, but carrying the kind of gentle fatigue that only shows when someone finally lets their guard down. His expression was soft, his shoulders slightly slouched, as if he'd just finished a long conversation or returned from a schedule that ran later than planned. And when he glanced toward the camera, just for 1 second, it wasn't the polished gaze of a performer. It was simply a person acknowledging the world around him. That one glance was enough to break hearts. But then came the moment that triggered the flood of reactions. He reached into his pocket, slowly, casually, and fans froze the clip at the exact frame when he pulled something out. That was when the excitement began. Because the item he pulled wasn't what fans expected. Not a drink, not a snack, not a prop, but something that hinted at a story no one knew. His payment method, the way he studied the menu, the way he listened carefully to the vendor's instructions, the way he reached for his wallet as if trying to make sure he paid first before anyone fussed over him. It wasn't the purchase that shocked fans. It was the gentleness in the way he handled the entire moment. One fan wrote, "Why is the way he orders food more emotional than my entire week?" Another joked, "Protect this man at all costs. Even the way he buys snacks is soft." But the moment that sealed the clip's virality wasn't the food. It was the interaction. When the vendor pointed at the menu, guiding him step by step, Liu Yuning leaned forward, listening with complete sincerity. No impatience. No rush. Just two people having a simple exchange in the middle of the night. And something about that sincerity hit fans hard. Because sometimes, the smallest gestures reveal the biggest truths. But here's where the tension rises, because fans quickly realized something wasn't matching up with his usual schedule. What was he doing out at this hour? Why was he at this location? Why did he look like he came straight from a serious conversation? And more importantly, was he eating this because he wanted to, or because he needed to? This is the conflict that fueled the discussion. The idea that maybe, just maybe, this midnight trip wasn't random. Maybe it followed a long day of filming. Maybe he slipped away to find a moment of quiet. Maybe he needed to clear his mind. Or maybe he simply craved something warm and comforting before heading home. Whatever the reason, fans sensed there was a deeper emotional layer behind the ordinary action. And that's where everything changed. Because in the middle of this soft, peaceful moment, a turning point appeared. Someone off camera said something that made him pause. He wasn't startled, just thoughtful. His expression shifted, subtle but noticeable, as if their comment touched a nerve or reminded him of something heavier. But instead of stepping away, instead of retreating, he stayed right where he was, grounded, calm, present. That small shift, barely a second long, gave the clip an unexpected emotional weight. Suddenly, fans weren't just watching a man order food. They were watching a human moment unfold in real time. And that's when the narrative took a surprising direction. Because right after that thoughtful pause, he smiled. It wasn't big. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a performance. It was the kind of warm, spontaneous smile that only happens when someone feels safe enough to be themselves. That smile changed everything. Comments shifted from curiosity to affection, from theories to gratitude, from worry to admiration.
Fans began saying,
"He looked tired before, but that smile healed me. I didn't expect a 1 a.m. snack clip to make me emotional. And even, this feels like watching someone finally breathe." And maybe that's exactly why this moment matters. Because the world often sees Liu Yuning as the performer, the voice, the presence, the energy. But this late-night snack moment reminded everyone that behind the sound and lights, there's a person who also enjoys simple comforts, like warm food in the quiet hours of the night. But the story doesn't end there. The more fans replayed the clip, the more details they noticed. The careful way he held the menu. The way he waited patiently instead of rushing. The way he let others speak first. The reassuring nod he gave the vendor. Small gestures, but each one revealing a layer of kindness that fans rarely get to see so clearly. And so the clip didn't go viral because of shock. It went viral because of sincerity. It showed something real, something gentle, something grounding. And in a world where celebrity moments often feel staged or exaggerated, this one felt beautifully, refreshingly ordinary. Which brings us to the emotional finale. After receiving his order, he didn't walk away immediately. He paused, just long enough for fans to feel that familiar warmth again, then thanked the vendor with a softness that said everything words couldn't. That was the last emotional hit. A quiet gratitude at the end of a long day. A moment of peace captured by accident. A reminder that even public figures crave comfort, connection, and calm. And that's why this midnight clip spread across social platforms faster than anyone expected. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was human. Something that makes people stop scrolling, breathe a little deeper, and smile without realizing it. Here at Celeb Buzz Insider, we've covered countless celebrity stories, but every so often, a tiny incident like this one rises above the noise. And this time, it wasn't about scandal. It wasn't about conflict. It wasn't about shock value. It was about simplicity, about authenticity, about a late-night snack that revealed something tender beneath the surface. And as fans continued to replay the clip, share their reactions, and turn it into a moment worth remembering, one thing becomes clear. Sometimes the most unforgettable stories aren't the loud ones. They're the quiet moments that remind us we're all human.